Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the strangest digital mysteries I've ever come across. It's a story that blurs the line between the virtual world and our own, and honestly, it still gives me chills just thinking about it. This all started on a pretty normal Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021, to be exact. I was doing what a lot of us do when we reboard. Just scrolling around on Google Maps, virtually exploring places I'll probably never visit. My digital travels had taken me to the dense, sprawling forests just outside Portland, Oregon. It's an area known for its natural beauty, miles and miles of nothing but towering pines and untouched wilderness. I was zooming in and out, tracing hiking trails with my cursor, when something caught my eye. It was completely out of place. There, in the middle of a vast, unbroken sea of green, was a single, isolated property marker. You know, the little red pin icon. It was just sitting there, miles from any road, any sign of civilization. Curiosity got the better of me. I figured it had to be a glitch, some kind of data error. But when I clicked on it, a label popped up. The Tanglewood House. No address number, no street name, just that. What was a house doing out here? There were no driveways, no paths leading to it. It was like someone had just dropped it from the sky. The strangest part wasn't just its location. When you click on a place in Google Maps, you sometimes get a street view option or user-submitted photos. This one had a photo, a single, crisp, higher resolution image of a house. It was an old Victorian-style home, the kind with intricate woodwork and a wraparound porch. It looked a bit weathered, paint peeling slightly on the window frames, but it was clearly well maintained. It was beautiful, but also deeply unsettling, standing alone against the dark backdrop of the forest. My first thought was, who took this photo? How did they even get here? There were no photo credits, no username attached. It was just there. I spent the next hour trying to find any information about the Tanglewood House. I searched property records, historical archives, local forums, nothing. It was a digital ghost. It didn't officially exist anywhere except for this one lonely pin on Google Maps. I almost gave up, chalking it up to a very elaborate prank or a persistent bug. I took a screenshot, planning to post it on a mystery forum later, and closed the tab. But the image of that house stuck in my mind. It was a puzzle I couldn't let go of. The isolation, the lack of information, it was compelling. The next day, I couldn't resist. I had to look again. I pulled up Google Maps, navigated back to the forests outside Portland, and found the pin. The Tanglewood House. I clicked on it, expecting to see the same single photo of the exterior. But it had changed. Now, instead of one photo, there was a small gallery. The first photo was the same exterior shot, but there were new ones. They were interior shots. A living room, with a grand fireplace and antique furniture covered in white sheets, as if the owners had just left. A dusty library, shelves overflowing with books. A long, empty dining hall with a single, unlit chandelier. The photos were eerily beautiful, capturing a sense of forgotten elegance. They were also incredibly clear, not blurry or user-submitted looking. They looked professional. And that's when I noticed something that made my stomach drop. At the bottom of the photo gallery, there was a small, grey time stamp. It read, "Updated, June 23, 2021, 9 a.m. The photos were new. Someone had uploaded them this morning. But how? And why? This took it from a simple glitch to something active. Something was happening. This wasn't just a static error. It was a living, breathing enigma that was updating in real time. I started checking it every day. It became a ritual. Every morning, I'd open my laptop, my heart pounding a little, and navigate to that spot in the Oregon woods. And every single day, without fail, there were new photos. One day, it was the kitchen. Old cast iron stove, copper pots hanging from a rack. Another day, it was an upstairs bedroom, a simple bed with a handmade quilt folded neatly at the foot. It was like I was being given a slow, deliberate tour of the house by an unseen host. The photos always had the same sterile, high-quality look. No people, no signs of life, just the silent waiting rooms. The timestamp was always there, updated each morning. I started documenting everything, taking screenshots, writing down my observations. I felt like a detective in a case where the only clues were JPEGs uploaded to a mapping service. I told a couple of friends about it, but they just thought it was a cool, Argon alternate reality game. They didn't feel the same sense of unease I did. To me, it felt too real. The daily updates continued for over a week. I saw every corner of that house, the winding main staircase, the attic filled with forgotten trunks, the basement with its cold stone walls. I felt like I knew the layout of the Tanglewood house better than my own apartment. The place was starting to feel familiar. The line between watching and participating was beginning to blur. On the 10th day, the new photo was different. It wasn't another room. It was a close-up of a small, wooden table in what looked like the library. On the table was a single, open book. I zoomed in as far as I could. The page was filled with elegant, handwritten script, but I couldn't quite make out the words. But I could see the date written at the top of the page. It was that day's date, July 2nd, 2021. This was the turning point. It was no longer just a tour. This was a message. Something or someone in that house was aware that it was being watched, and they were leaving clues, day by day. The daily updates became my obsession. The next day, the photo was of the grand piano in the music room. A single key, a C-sharp, was pressed down, as if held by an invisible finger. The day after that, one of the white sheets covering the living room furniture was pulled back, revealing the corner of a velvet sofa. It was like the house was slowly waking up. The invisible presence was making itself known, bit by bit. It was a masterful, terrifying slow burn. Who was doing this? A hermit with a satellite internet connection. A ghost with a Wi-Fi password. Every theory seemed more absurd than the last. Then came the final update, the one that made me stop looking. It was 2 weeks after I first found the pin. I opened Google Maps that morning, my usual mix of fear and excitement churning in my gut. I clicked on the pin, the Tanglewood house. I navigated to the photo gallery. A new image had been uploaded. The timestamp was from 5 minutes ago. I clicked on it to see it full screen. My blood ran cold. The photo was of the entrance hall, looking towards the front door from the base of the main staircase. The lighting was dim, dust motes dancing in the single shaft of light coming from a high window. But that wasn't what scared me. Standing there, in the middle of the hall, was a figure. It was just a silhouette, its back to the camera. They were wearing a dark jacket and jeans. Their posture was familiar. Their hair was familiar. I could feel my own heartbeat in my ears, a frantic, pounding drum. I leaned closer to the screen, my breath catching in my throat. The figure in the photo was me. It was me, wearing the exact clothes I had on at that very moment, sitting at my desk. The photo showed me standing inside the Tanglewood house, looking towards the front door, as if I had just walked in. But I was here, in my apartment, hundreds of miles away. How could this be possible? I felt a wave of absolute panic wash over me. I slammed my laptop shut, my hands shaking. This wasn't a game. It wasn't a glitch. It was something else entirely. It was a violation of the deepest kind. My digital window into this mystery had become a mirror, and it was showing me a reality that shouldn't exist. I felt watched, not just through my screen, but in a way that felt physical and immediate. After a few minutes, I slowly opened my laptop again. I had to see. I navigated back to Google Maps. I searched for the forests outside Portland, but it was gone. The pin, the label, the photos, all of it. It was just an unbroken expanse of green trees, as it should have been. The Tanglewood house had vanished from the map as mysteriously as it had appeared. I've never searched for it again. I don't want to know what I might find if I did. The experience left me with a chilling thought that I can't shake. Some places, some addresses, shouldn't exist. And maybe, just maybe, some are better left unfound. Thank you so much for listening to this story. It's a strange one, I know. And it's a reminder that the digital world can sometimes hold some very dark and unexplainable corners. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, and if you have any strange digital mysteries of your own, share them in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Stay safe out there, both online and off.